10 everyday things that are hurting your gecko's feelings, and you're probably doing at least 3 of them right now. Your gecko doesn't experience emotions the way you do, but its nervous system experiences stress, fear, safety, and relief through real hormonal responses that science can measure, and the things triggering those responses every day are almost never the things owners expect. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what your gecko's body is recording every time you walk in the room, reach into the tank, or rearrange its enclosure, and you'll never read its stillness the same way again. One mistake almost every owner makes every single day quietly teaches their gecko that you are dangerous. And the worst part, it feels like love. Number 1. Ignoring stress signals. Most geckos warn you long before they break down. Tail twitching, body flattening, wide fixed eyes, rapid breathing, glass surfing at night. These are not personality quirks. These are a nervous system screaming the only way it knows how. Reptile welfare research is clear. Behavioral signals like aggression, food refusal, and escape attempts are meaningful welfare indicators, not attitude problems. When owners dismiss them as just how my gecko is, they accidentally teach one devastating lesson. Communication doesn't change anything. And when that lesson lands, the gecko stops warning you. It doesn't relax. It shuts down. Number 2. Handling too much. Here's the part that's uncomfortable to hear. Your gecko may sit still on your hand not because it trusts you, but because it has learned that escape is impossible. Handling is a documented stressor in reptiles. Capture and restraint can elevate corticosterone, the reptile stress hormone, for minutes to hours. When handling happens too often, the gecko never fully recovers between exposures. The behavior owners miss: less roaming, food refusal, hiding longer, a gecko that used to come out, that now doesn't. That's not shyness. That's a nervous system that stopped expecting relief. But the next mistake is even worse, because owners think they're helping. Number 3. Wrong tank environment. A gecko without adequate cover doesn't feel exposed. It feels hunted all day long. No hides, bright overhead lighting, minimal clutter, constant visibility. These aren't just care mistakes. They remove the gecko's only mechanism for emotional regulation: concealment. The welfare literature is direct. Reptiles rely on hiding and quiescence as natural behavioral strategies. Without proper cover, the animal cannot downregulate. There is no off switch. The enclosure isn't just a tank. It is the gecko's entire emotional map. Number 4. Sudden movements and loud noise. To your gecko, a slammed door can feel like the world ending. Geckos sense vibration through the saccule, a structure in the inner ear tuned to the exact frequency range of heavy footsteps and impact. Their visual system is built to detect fast overhead movement as an attack pattern, which means your normal behavior, walking in quickly, reaching in from above, tapping the glass, registers in your gecko's nervous system as predator behavior. Every single time. If your gecko has suddenly started running from you, this is the reason. Number 5. Forcing interaction. When your gecko walks away, that is communication, and ignoring it is one of the fastest ways to collapse trust. Choice is a major ingredient of psychological safety. Research on forced handling shows that when escape is blocked repeatedly, animals don't eventually become comfortable. They develop learned helplessness. A gecko that no longer struggles may not be relaxed. It may have simply learned that resistance doesn't help. Imagine living in a world where every time you say no, nothing changes. That is what forced interaction teaches. Trust grows when escape is allowed, not when it's prevented. Number 6. Waking them during sleep or hiding. Picture this. It's the middle of the night for you. The room is dark. You're finally asleep, and someone lifts you out of your bed, not to hurt you, just to show you to someone else. That is what waking a gecko during its rest period feels like neurologically. The hide is not decoration. It is the only place your gecko's nervous system fully powers down. Research confirms that chronic rest interruption makes animals more reactive, less exploratory, and permanently more guarded. Not over dramatic events, but over quiet, repeated ones exactly like this. It only learns one thing: even here, I'm not safe. Number 7. Inconsistent feeding and care. Think about what it feels like to be hungry and not know when food is coming. Not for a day, but every single day. That low-level vigilance is what inconsistent feeding creates in a gecko's nervous system. Geckos build behavioral memory around feeding rhythms, the specific sequence of events that signals food is coming. Stay calm. When that sequence disappears or shifts unpredictably, the brain doesn't relax and wait. It braces. To a prey animal, Unpredictability feels almost identical to danger. The gecko that becomes frantic or refuses food isn't being difficult. It's a nervous system that stopped trusting what comes next. Number 8. Misreading stillness as trust. This is the one that changes everything. In reptiles, peace and paralysis can look identical to a careless eye. Owners often read a still gecko as a calm gecko. A gecko that doesn't resist as a gecko that trusts. A gecko that tolerates everything as a gecko that is finally comfortable. But stillness can be a freeze response, a survival strategy, not a feeling of safety. What looks like calm may actually be shut down. What feels like bonding to you may feel like escape prevention to them. The gecko that stops resisting is not always the gecko that feels safe. Your gecko doesn't need you to humanize it. It needs you to understand it. Number 9. Environmental instability. Imagine waking up tomorrow and every piece of furniture in your home has been moved. The doors are in different places. Your bed is gone. Nothing is where it was. You're not in danger. But your body doesn't know that yet. That is what a rearranged enclosure feels like to a gecko. Geckos build a precise cognitive map of their space, tracking where shelter is, where exits are, where safety lives. Research on leopard gecko memory confirms they retain this spatial information for months. When you shift the layout, move the hides, or deep clean too aggressively, you don't create novelty. You erase the map, and a gecko without its map has to rebuild trust in its own home from scratch. Number 10. Being emotionally impatient, and this is the part most owners never realize until it's too late. Your gecko may never love you the way a dog does, but it can learn one life-changing thing: you are safe. Reptile trust is not built through affection. It is built through associative learning, repeated, predictable, non-threatening exposure that the nervous system eventually files under. This is not danger. That process takes weeks, sometimes months, and it can be reset in a single afternoon of inconsistency. The owners who break through are not the ones who handle more. They are the ones who move slower, stay calmer, and show up the same way every single time, not because the gecko will eventually love them, but because it will finally stop bracing. Your gecko's feelings are not human feelings, but they are real. Stress, fear, safety, relief. These are not metaphors. They are hormonal, behavioral, and cumulative. They are written into the body through repeated experience, and they are shaped, day by day, by every small thing you do in that room. The goal was never to make your gecko love you. The goal is to make sure it never has to fear you. Because to a creature this small, feeling safe is love. Tell me in the comments what behavior on this list surprised you most, or what did you change that finally helped your gecko trust you?